Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today, guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of Chainlink, taking a look at the most recent price action and what I think is likely to happen next. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out. Link is down in the description below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out. Let's jump right down into today's video, and we'll kick things off with the 1 hour time frame here for Chainlink. So here we have Chainlink paired up with USDT. We're using the 1 hour Binance chart here, and as you can see, there's a lot of green here, right? And so what is all of this green that you are seeing? This is smart money concepts. And smart money concepts here is showing you the idea of smart money coming in, or large institutional investors coming in, and they are creating imbalances in the supply and the demand. Essentially what this means is that there's large buy orders coming in here that cannot be filled because there's not enough selling activity, and so these institutional candles are created where price has to move up to find the sellers, okay? And so what we're doing here is we're seeing a stack of these on the hourly chart kind of appearing on top of each other. This is an indication that price is being pushed to the upside, and there's not really a lot of selling activity. Now, if we take our stochastics off and we throw in the volumes, you can kind of see here that volumes actually are not that impressive. I mean, they're a lot more impressive than they were. You can see the spikes to the upside here. When they occur, they really are creating imbalances in the supply and the demand elements, and therefore we are seeing this push to the upside. So there is a lot of buying activity from larger investors than there are smaller investors. We were kind of talking about this in the last Chainlink video where we had the on-chain data where we could see a lot of large investors in Chainlink and not so many smaller investors. It's quite interesting. From our stochastic RSI point of view, we are overbought on the weekly, daily, 8 hour and 4 hour timeframes, but our hourly keeps resetting itself. This is an indication that we have still got plenty of room to the upside to be seen here. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom on in here and take a look at our structures here, because what is going on is quite important. To me, it looks like we still have another push to the upside. Okay, so if we go ahead and take a look, we have a 5-wave movement in the making here. We can see that we pierced the 1.618 and we're just in a wave 4. Okay, this wave 4 would not be allowed to cross lower than 975. Okay, that would be the invalidation point, and it looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so as in we've still got one more push to the upside. Now, if we have bottomed already, which is possible, but you know, we'll see. We probably could come down a fraction more. I'm going to leave it where it is right now, though, but we can come down just a fraction more. This will mean that we can still push up a little bit higher here and head on out towards. Let's see if I can get this right on the nose there. I'm pretty certain it's going to be about there. Let me just do some sense checks here. So 1122.7 to 11.50. Okay, that's going to be kind of the 5th wave. Now, it can extend, overextend, and all that kind of stuff can truncate as well, but that's kind of where that is. Now, if we zoom out of this just a little ways, you can also see that there's a 5-wave move over this side. And so we've come in 1, 2, 3, a bit too far. Let's try that again. We went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Quick 3-wave correction in the middle, like that. And we end up with this kind of zigzag pattern appearing. Now, we do not see here anything that's going to be a long-term trend to the upside. It is all very corrective. And when I say corrective, what I mean by this is short-term. Now, it does mean, though, that although our minimum expectations were met, we still could push up more towards 1217. So we might see that extension in that 5th wave to get us up into that kind of range there, which would be typical of an ABC structure over a longer period, as in A, B, C. Okay, so on our hourly chart, there's a little bit of progression potentially there, a little bit higher, more towards $12.17. But otherwise, you know, our target range is 1122 to 1150. Okay, let's take this into the daily. It's a little bit easier to see what's going on from the daily time frame. So here on the daily time frame, you can see that actually this is a part of a bigger three-wave correction with our zigzag pattern at the end there. Okay, so for the most part, we still expect that slight push higher. But if we were to go ahead and show you what this looks like, you can see we're actually nearing the end of our structured move upwards. And we are not really doing anything unusual here. So our targeted range for this was $9.94 to $11.38. Okay, you can see it right in there, and that's 1 to the 1.236. This essentially is a large three-wave pattern, and it would just take us up into this range here. Okay, you can see there's also those two fair value gaps just over here. I'll get rid of that one for now, and I'll get rid of that. Two fair value gaps created from those large institutional orders coming on in. Obviously, we're overbought as well. The last time we were overbought, we did see a short correction to the downside. We saw a move of around 14% for Chainlink. So again, that was actually quite a reasonable, healthy correction. If we do see something similar, then we'll just be pulling back down to the first fair value gap here, and then seeing whether or not we can turn this into something a little bit more. If we do pierce higher than this yellow box area, above that kind of $11.40 range, then we are potentially going to be looking at a WXY, X, and Z, meaning that if I were to remove this off of the chart here, let's bring this down, we would end up with a WXY come down into that first fair value gap and Z move up higher. Okay, so there's always this as a possibility to keep an eye on as well. But ultimately, Chainlink's been performing well. If I zoom out far enough here, guys, though, you can see that although this looks really impressive and has been performing incredibly well, we can, of course, acknowledge that actually across a larger kind of time frame here, it hasn't yet kind of met any kind of major breakthrough situations. So as you can kind of see, it's moved up quite nicely there. If we go ahead and take the idea from here, let's see if I can grab this, move that over to here, you can see it can still push up a little bit higher, but is in its range already. So for the most part, it has a couple of different completed structures here. We have this one that's completing now. This is a part of a bigger three-wave correction here. And all of this hasn't yet really got any decent kind of breakout situations above its range. I mean, it has the potential now to be considered maybe a bit of a breakout of its continuation here. My concern would be that this pattern is completing, and we unfortunately do have to break on down a little bit further. That being said, I still think we are going to be testing the lower ranges again. I don't think Chainlink here has had a big enough push to the upside that it is going to constitute a market that's going to stay above its recent low, given a potential Fed pivot and a few other things that are going on. So for the most part, it's great to see. I own a fair amount of Chainlink, so does Chris. We've been dollar cost averaging into Chainlink for quite some time. And I do think that we have the potential to see a little bit more of a pull to the downside for better dollar cost averaging opportunities. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, we're probably going to have to retest the range of around $7.90 and around that kind of 200 EMA. I don't think this is going to be a long-lived push to the upside. I expect a bit of a pullback, and yeah, I think our range down here at the bottom between $4.76 and $5.88 may get tapped into again. As you can kind of see, this is the main area of demand. This move to the upside is great, but I still expect us to kind of pull back a little ways. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, I have hope around $1.70, which I don't think is going to happen, but there is a technical move that we could see Chainlink dump to that low. I don't think that's going to happen, but it is there, so we should kind of be aware of that in the background a little bit. I kind of did a video on that a few weeks ago, but for the most part, I'm happy to kind of see Chainlink move like this. Pullback would be nice and healthy. We'll look for retesting on the EMAs and the SMAs and all that kind of good stuff there. Take it out into the weekly. As you can kind of see, here's that 173 low point. You can see that we are looking at this move here as an X wave. We've just kind of pushed up a little bit now on the 200 EMA. We did close above there yesterday, I believe. So we got that weekly close above the weekly 200 EMA, but we'll see whether this can be sustained or not. I think a back test on the 50 EMA at 768 would be pretty handy. As you can kind of see, I have a bright future here for Chainlink. if we were to copy what happened previously, you can see how these bar patterns really go impulsive. If it does start here, then that's going to be fantastic, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I expect us to still pull back a little ways before we start to see a significant surge upwards. A new all-time high will probably be out more towards 2024, 2025, in my humble opinion, but it'll be interesting to kind of see where this is going. I still see a $200 link or a $262 Chainlink potential in the future. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, but I think I'm going to wrap this video up right there. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.